Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Alright. Good night. Stay safe, yeah?
Hey, love. Sorry, I've been a bit busy. I didn't know we knew that many people. I'm going to go up later, and I feel it's going to be taking care of you tonight. Sorry, I'm just tired. It's been a long day. You know I'm the introverted one. You still do this to me.
Well, I got what you wanted now. You're doing all the housework. Genius.
I wanted to buy you chicken rice for breakfast for you tomorrow. But the priest said that it should be vegetarian for the last day. We're fine with that. Can you answer me?
Can you just answer me?
Oh. So you can nag for days on end, but not reply to me.
You know what? You're really selfish, you know that. I was there when your parents died. When your friends died. Oh, you were there when my parents died. When my friends died. But now? You're just gonna put me on my own? What do you always say? Oh, don't worry. I'm a woman. I'm gonna live longer than you anyways. Bullshit! Look at you now. At least I'm doing your work for you. Who's going to do it for me? Might as well just go with you now, right? I always tell you. You think after 66 years, a man would have learned a thing or two about people dying. I think after 32 years of your incessant nagging, I'd be glad to see you go. I wish that was the case.
Don't you think it's funny how everyone loses someone and no one talks about it? Am I supposed to forget you after tomorrow? Am I supposed to be okay with you gone? I miss you. I miss you. Hey, you're here.
Yeah. Thank you so much. When you're old, you can't stay out like you used to. You know what to do, right? Okay. Just help yourself with the food and drinks. I'm going to go up and rest. Thank you.
Fessie, I clean later, okay? Hi fellow classmates, it's me, Shrusti Gaikwad. Shrusti, Shrusti. Now I know if you try to pronounce it, you can pronounce it right. Come try with me. Shrusti. Like I said, if you try, you can do it. So try. Okay. Shrusti. That was good. I can't tell you how good it feels to finally hear my name pronounced the way it was meant to be. Anyways, the item that I chose for today's show and tell is a mixture of curd and sugar, or as we call it, dahisakar. What is curd? Well, it is like yogurt, but it's not yogurt. And if that answer wasn't satisfactory enough, you can Google it afterwards. Why dahisakar? Let me begin with how we first met. I was in kindergarten, and on the first day of school, I was about to step out of my house when my mom shouted, "Wait!" Okay, not in English, but in Marathi instead. And she fed me a spoon of this beautiful white thing. So good. Ever since that day, for every important event or day that I had, she would be sure to feed me a spoonful of dahisakar. It was a thing for good luck. Now, if you have seen Deadpool 2, you'll know that the thing about luck is that it's a superpower. So you could say that dahisakar was to me what spinach was to Popeye. And little did I know back then, I was gonna need a hell lot of that. So, why dahisakar though? Well, its name is in Marathi, and for those of you who don't know, so am I. So stop asking why I can't speak Tamil even though you have known me for 2 years or more. Now that I have put that out of the way, let me point out that I might be talking for quite a while, so sit back, and get comfortable. Yes, there are 29 states in India, and I got the information online, but Fessie, don't downgrade me, cause my source was not Wikipedia. As for the languages, there are 22 languages, and I speak a total of 2 of them, which makes me like really smart in my head because damn Shruti, you know 3 languages? Wow! I was born in India, but I moved here when I was 5 years old, which is only 1 full hand of fingers. Man, I was small. Being small does have its privileges though. I got to grow up right here. Kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, and Polytechnic. So like other people, I have friends. Wait, it's not a joke, I seriously have friends. But I have friends too. And this is the story of my first set of friends. So I used to take Hindi as my mother tongue language. And my primary school only offered Malay and Chinese. So what did the rest of us kids do during this time? Well, we used to sit at the back of the class and do our own things, which mostly meant me doing my homework, which should have been done the night before at home. Fessie, no, I never do that for your classes. Yes, I always do your pre-class. Yes. Anyways, on Wednesdays, we used to be summoned by this teacher who would teach us short lessons on how to become better citizens. Now, I walk into class and see 5 other Indians, 4 Filipinos, and this one kid who till today I have no idea what he is. This is my thought process as a kid. Shruti, sit beside those most like you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I got to sitting beside this gorgeous Indian girl. Let's call her Priya for now, because that was her name. So over the first few sessions, we would talk and the whole group of Indian kids would smile and wave at me and play games with me. I was part of a clique. So after the first session of the second month, I went after Priya and tapped on her shoulder to ask her a question. Do you want to eat together during recess? Say yes, today is pizza day. She laughed and said, Hey, you think we are your friends or what, sia? Ha 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 ha. Well, ouch. But that wasn't what hurt me the most. She then proceeded to talk to the other Indian kids in Tamil. Then they all looked back at me and laughed. Don't know what that's like. आता जर मी तुम्हाला म्हटलं तुम्हाला खपूस कोणत्याची गोष्ट ऐकायची का तुम्ही काय नाही म्हणणार आहे नाही कारण तुम्हाला माहितच नाही मी काय म्हणते That feeling, that's it. So, as humans, we make mistakes and we learn from them, or we learn from experiences, right? Well, clearly I did not. Speaking of learning though, I went to a beautiful secondary school, and this is the story of what happened during one of the English lessons. So during this particular English lesson, I remember my teacher calling out to me and asking me to answer a question. He went, Shruti, stand up and tell me what's the answer. Here's the thing you need to know about me. I might not be a topper, but my English is pretty good. Even if I have made some grammatical errors like before this, I'm pretty good at English. It goes, Shruti, stand up and tell me the answer. And like a kid who was on the verge of a panic attack, couldn't phrase my answers properly and was stuttering a lot. I could barely put my words together and it was getting harder to breathe. Somehow I managed to choke out my answer. And feeling relieved, I was about to sit down as I hear the words. Wow, for an Indian, you sure can't construct well. A sting. I felt it again. The whole class erupts into laughter. The class which included my closest friends. But Shruti is just a joke. Oh yes, it's a joke. I shouldn't take it seriously. So I smile and I sit down. A construction joke, huh? Dear teacher, you're Indian too. For those of you living in HDB blocks, you have neighbors, right? Same, I have neighbors too. And if you said no, too bad. I have neighbors. So I moved into my recently paid for house 8 years ago. And on the first morning after we moved in, my mom was about to step out to throw our trash when she looks down and sees the area right outside our house covered in broken glass shards. We didn't complain or make a huge deal out of it because we were going to live here for a long time, hence the sense of wanting to live in peace and harmony. That didn't work out. Anyways, so we just cleaned everything up and we moved on with life. Small things like that kept happening here and there, and we just cleaned it up and moved on with life. 8 years go by and we are here in 2020. A few months ago, my family and I were sitting in a bedroom and we were playing cards with our window open. So I need to let you know how my house looks like. Open to face the corridor. It's the first house in our corridor, and the windows of our living room and this particular bedroom open to face the corridor. My neighbor walks out and shouts, "You're being too loud! You're being too damn loud!" My family and I look at each other, decide to quieten down and continue playing cards, thinking he would go away. Boy, were we wrong. He continues repeating it until my dad says, "Okay, we get it." He then marches over to our window and looks at my dad and continues, "Sir, I really respect you, you see. I really respect you, but you're too damn loud." By this sentence, an awful stench of alcohol hits our noses and we deduce he's drunk. It's better not to get involved with him. My dad tries to resolve the situation by saying, "Okay, let's talk tomorrow." After saying this, the guy looked like he was about to leave, so my sister goes to close the window. He holds on to our window and shouts, "How dare you try to close the window when I'm still talking?" At this point, his wife comes and joins him. We thought that she was there to hold him back, you know? She was not. "You see, we have been quiet about this for a very long time, but you're always so loud." The guy was already riled up, but this sentence of his wife riled him up even more. "You beggars! You king beggars! You come to our country!" How is it that I could take a million racist jokes from anyone, but this one sentence from you broke me down? My sister is pissed off. She says, "Uncle, you come to our window and start scolding us?" The guy clearly has a problem with her. He says, "You little itch! How dare you talk to me? I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to him." My dad gets really pissed off. The sting, I felt it again. By this point, I was getting a full-on panic attack. I was sweating profusely and I couldn't press 999, but I knew I had to call the police. And so I did. And I told them what was happening. They told me they were on their way. While waiting, I couldn't bear to go back to the room this was happening in. So I stood outside. But I could still clearly hear how much the conversation had escalated. You never teach your daughters right. I will teach them a lesson. He wasn't speaking anymore. He was growling. The police came, resolved the situation, and left. The second that they left, he came outside our door and started again. I will teach them a bloody lesson. You don't know who I am. I called the police again. The second time that they left, everything was quiet. Outside. Everything got resolved by the police, right? Then why did we spend the next few days in fear? Locking every window, every door. Why does our heart race when there's a knock on our door? Why did every single sound scare me awake at night? Everything got resolved by the police, right? Many might ask what his race was. No, he wasn't anything else. He was Indian. A different Indian than me, but still Indian. They could. So do I. So where does the difference lie?
Abah? Hi, Abah. I just got back from work and it's been a tiring day. But I saw this little girl at the playground. She was crying so loudly and she wouldn't stop until her dad came and cuddled her. And that kind of reminded me of when I was her age, you know? Like remember how you always carry me from the living room to the bedroom because I fell asleep watching Upin Ipin? Okay, not going to lie, sometimes I did that because I want to be carried on your shoulders. Remember how you always bring me to meet your friends and then you buy me vanilla cone afterwards because you don't want me to tell Ibu about it? Yeah, that was our little secret. Remember Shahira? Ibu always nag at me not to hang out with her often because Ibu is scared that I become tomboy like her. But guess what now? Shahira is married with 3 kids and I'm still single. Tak ada boyfriend, tak ada tunang. Jadi anda tu lah ni. Ever since you were gone, nothing much really changed anyways. Wait, I'll show you.
Ashraf, tak mau main depan rezeki. Dah, you baca doa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Look at this doll with the pretty blonde hair and pretty pink dress. When I grow up, I want to be exactly like her. Pretty.
This is boring. I saw some Nerf guns outside. Can we play with that instead?
But aren't that for boys?
Syahira, dah pukul berapa ni? Dah nak maghrib tau. Tak nak balik nanti Mama Syahira cari Syahira pula. Dah.
Assalamualaikum.
Abah dah balik. Yay, Abah balik. Yay, Abah. Then I totally forgot about her and ran towards you to hug you. You know, last time, right, I always say, Abah, I miss you. Even though you're right beside me. Yelah, dulu kan suka manja-manja. But you know, we don't really have dinners together anymore. You used to always come home late and I would always stay up to wait for you. I remember that specific night. I waited for you. But you never came back that night, or the night after, or after. I waited and waited for you for 2 years. Where did you go, Abah? Ever since you were gone, life wasn't the same anymore. You know why we don't have dinners together? It's because Ibu spent more time at work than at home. I wanted you back more than ever. Oh, my friend texted. She wants to know if I want to go get McD's later. I remember how you always buy me vanilla cone last time. You know, when you bring me to meet your friends. Talking about your friends, I hated them. They always smell weird and their breath, strange. And worst of all, the floor is always covered with powder. And when I ask why, your friend would reply, Adik tak pernah nampak snow kan? And laughed. If only I knew. You came back when I started to get used not having you around for 2 years. You treated me as though I was still that sweet, innocent 12-year-old that you left behind. I was not. I grew up, Abah. Without you, and I guess that was what started it all. Started my anger, my hatred towards you. Towards how life sucks for me. For us. I mean, look at Ibu. She works her ass off pretending that she's never tired or exhausted just to provide us the best life she can because you couldn't do that. Where were you when we all needed you the most? You were never there when I graduated primary school with high marks. You were never there when Ashraf got into a prestigious junior college. You were never there when Ibu fainted because she overworked herself. You were never there for anything and you had the nerves to ask me if I'm spending my hard-earned money that I worked as a 14-year-old in Pizza Hut. As though it's so normal that a 14-year-old child is out working because her dad couldn't provide. When you came back, all you did was sit on your bum and watch the TV all day and all night long, while the rest of us are busy working. Your children working part-time while schooling, and you just sit back and do nothing. You're useless. Do you know that? Why did you came back? If you're gonna leave us again, why did you came back to cause us more pain? Why did you came back to remind me what I couldn't have? Why?
Muhammad Ridwan. CNB, open up! Sayang, Abah pergi sekejap je. Tak lama. Kita main-main je. Abah love you all.
Jolene's story started on 21st of April 2020.
So, one of my friends just posted a picture of themselves with their bubble tea. And this she was like, "Oh my god, I queued for an hour. Finally got my bubble tea." Melissa, you stupid bitch. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Hello? Pandemic? Hello? COVID-19? The government is shutting down all the bubble tea shops for a reason, right? Cannot believe I'm friends with one of these people. Ugh.
From that one story alone, her message got out to more people through Mothership, a Singapore-born media company.
So, I got a lot of DMs these past few days. And like apparently my rant video got to like Mothership and it got like 50k views on their YouTube channel. Weird. I cannot believe this because like I got a lot of more followers now. I got a lot more followers now. But I'm not really the influencer type. So yeah. Anyways, I put a link in my Insta bio where you guys can donate to various causes, like to help out people who are really affected by COVID-19. Like, it's a really tough time for everyone out there. So stay safe and help out whenever you can. Also, I'm more active on Twitter. So follow me there.
On 30th April, she opened up to over 2,000 followers about her life as a Generation Z Singaporean and her experience in the first global pandemic in a decade.
Oh wow, okay, that's a lot of people watching me in my room right now. Okay, some fun facts about me. I don't really know why y'all want to know this, but like, not that I have anything better to do, so... Okay, my name is Jolene Tan. I'm 25 years old, and I am a private U dropout. Like, I used to have a job, but then like, I got retrenched in February, and yeah, I don't think I can say the name of the hotel. I don't want to get sued, so yeah, I dropped out of uni. Like, I went through one semester and my grades like CMI already, so I couldn't get any scholarships, and I sat down with my parents like we just discussed, you know, it was just gonna be super hard. It was just gonna be so hard to afford the school fees. It was so expensive. Plus, private U, not subsidized. It was a really big decision to make, but I think it's better off this way. So, plus, mostly my parents want me to go on lah. They always like say like, oh my god, you can get a better job, like got better benefits. Don't need to work so hard with a degree. Like the Asian parent mentality, you know? Okay, okay, I see some comments and questions. Which poly do you go to? I think you're my senior. I'm from API. Okay, what's your GPA? I don't want to say. Quite pathetic Are you and Melissa still friends? Oh my god, Melissa! Okay, she got super mad at me, like really mad at me. And then like we did this entire thing where like we sub-tweeted each other and then like we posted Insta stories, like indirect each other. Quite messy like I think if you see one of her highlights, like she got bitch about me. Oops. Okay, whatever. Don't want to be friends with her anyways. So, why are you so angry? You're not happy with Singapore government, you can do better, man. Okay, for those of y'all who don't have Twitter or don't follow me on Twitter, I tweet a lot, okay? And I don't think I'm tweeting. I'm not tweeting to say that I can do better, but I'm tweeting so that Singaporeans can see what the government is doing wrong, and like we would change ourselves to make up for it. Everybody knows that Singapore not very extreme at the very start. Like they discourage the usage of masks or, but now like we're being severely criticized for like what the government has done wrong. You know, like the foreign workers, another outbreak, all that. It was extreme, but like coronavirus is extreme. So, okay, next, start an OnlyFans. No. So, there's like 10k people watching my stories and reading my tweets right now. That's a lot. Anyways, I just want to drop in and tell you guys to hang in there. There's so much going on in the world right now, and it's difficult for everyone one way or another. So, yeah, stay safe. I hope you all are doing well. Also, I just started a YouTube channel, so stay tuned for updates. I don't think you're a crazy hoarder. I don't think you need help. But I know you're scared. And I am too, but it's not gonna get to the point where you need hundreds of N95 masks wasting away in your storeroom. Those masks, they can be used to save doctors and nurses. They can be used to save your sons and your daughters, the people facing COVID-19 patients every day, in order to save them, disregarding their own health because of the lack of PPE. Are you scared to lose them? Because I would be. You don't need the mask. You don't need help. They do.
After the video was uploaded and garnered over 6 million views, there was an influx of donations, cash, N95 masks and other personal protective equipment to hospitals, helping those on the front line. This sudden surge of support was attributed to none other than Jolene's video, calling out hoarders and urging them. After Phase 2 began, Jolene 10 sought to bring about more change. She has made a name for herself in her little red dot and just strived to do good. Now that she was on a roll, there was nothing stopping her.
Hi guys! I'll be doing a 24-hour charity live stream to help raise funds for people who are really affected by this stupid pandemic. All the funds raised will be given to campaigns on giving.sg, and I'll be taking suggestions from our Telegram chat. I'll put the link to the Telegram chat in the description and my bio, so please join and give your suggestions. The stream will be from, what's the date? 7 AM 18 June to 7 AM 19 June, which is 24 hours. So, okay. But anyways, I hope y'all will join in and watch the stream. Let's stay united, guys.
The charity live stream ended up garnering $162,000.
An election now, when things are relatively stable, will clear the decks and give the new government a fresh, full 5-year mandate. It can then focus on this national agenda and the difficult decisions it will have to make and to carry.
On the 23rd of June, Parliament was dissolved. Our Prime Minister decided that now the COVID-19 situation was stable enough and it's time to have a fresh start on our government. If you don't really know what that means, same. I'm 25. I have never voted. The last general election was in 2015, and that is 1 year before I was allowed to vote. I don't remember much about that election. I wasn't very interested, but now it's gonna be super different. You know why? Because my generation is able to vote in this one. I just think it will lead to a lot of changes. But for all y'all out there who are not really into politics, but probably have to be now because you have to vote, let me do a really short explanation. Okay, what's the Parliament? The Parliament is a body of government and they have the power to make laws. Members of Parliament are decided through this general election. Singapore is split up into 31 electoral divisions, 17 GRCs and 14 SMCs. Candidates run in these divisions, and if they get a majority of the votes, they become a member of Parliament. It's decided on where you live, so I'll put a link down in the description so you can find out which electoral division you're voting in. It's important to know. Members of Parliament serve as the bridge between the community and the government. They're the ones who ensure that the community maintains its quality of life and that their concerns are heard. Also, FYI, some important dates that you all should definitely take note of. 30th June is nomination day. It's where all the candidates get officially nominated and they're officially in the running. 10th of July is polling day, where everyone will make their way down to the polling stations to vote. It's a public holiday, so yay! Some advice for y'all. Read out on the manifesto. It's basically a list of all the promises that the party makes to the people about what they'll do once they become a member of parliament. I'll put a link down in the description to like this Google folder with every political party's manifesto. You should really read out on it before you go down to vote. Feel free to share your thoughts below. I would love to hear about what you think about this current election, any candidates that y'all got your eye on, and whether you'll even be voting. So yeah. What if I run? Not like running exercise, cause like you, but like run in this general election. You know, I always think, right, I want to move to another country. Singapore is just a really, really tough place to live in, and but I only lived here, you know? This is the only place I have ever known. I grew up here, and like, I live in a HDB flat. I'm still living in one. But I just don't see a future for myself here. And you know, I want my parents to have a good life. They come home really late from the construction site, the coffee shop, and they're so tired and worried. They worry. They worry a lot. My family has 4 sources of income, but still, they worry. They worry about their future. They worry about mine. The cost of living here is just ridiculous. And like, I want to get married. I want to have kids. Like, I'll admit that. But not here. Not when like the education system here. Oh, it's so tough on kids, man. I remember P6, my form teacher, she told me 2 hours of studying is not enough. That I jolly well buck up before I fail PSLE. Oh. And like, secondary school, prelims I remember I got C6 for one of my prelims, and like I cried the entire way home. I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that for any kid. And sure, I got bursaries, I got Eagles Award. Like, when I got it, my mom was really proud of me, but I don't think, like, does this compensation really make up for like all the times I wanted to throw myself off a building because like I couldn't understand the math? And like, I'm a working adult now, like, but I cannot move out. I cannot buy my own house. Like, only at 35 I think I can buy, which is like 10 years later. It's just like, and CPF, it takes 20% of my salary every month. Set aside, like I cannot handle my own finances. And sure, like I can use it next time, but only at like what, 55? When like I have enough. It's just bullshit. Like, I don't own my own money.
After that controversial Insta-Life criticizing Singapore's policies, Jolene Tan announces her plans to run in the upcoming general election.
I'll give you one tin can to fill up lah. I don't think you can fill it to the brim, but you try your best lah, okay?
I give you some 10 cents coin because you look like such a poor thing standing out here in the hot sun. They shouldn't be making you do stuff like this. You're so young. Hello? Dear, do you mind moving from this spot? I think the older volunteers should be standing here. Yeah, you know, they're able to reach out to more people.
This tin can had made many of my Saturdays a hassle and a chore, something I hated down to my very core. I should have been a kid, spending my Saturdays with video games and cartoons, but there I was, walking around under the hot sun with it, asking people to donate, and what did I get? I was ignored. It just wasn't fair. It always left me feeling dejected because even though I knew that despite my age, I could accomplish what the other volunteers could and more, nobody bothered to take me seriously. It was safe to say I really didn't enjoy taking part in donation drives. I would begrudgingly follow my mother because she was forcing me to go along with her. From the very first time she had taken me with her, I had moaned and lamented about it. I could be walking around with a smile on my face, trying to convince others that I enjoyed doing this. But deep inside my head, I was in my happy place, doing what I really wanted to do at that moment. Bashing that tin can with a baseball bat and stomping on the feet of all those who walked past me without even a polite refusal. Blame my violent thoughts on the likes of Tom and Jerry. I mean, are we really sure those were meant for kids? Anyways, it came to a point where the tin can used to haunt my dreams, especially on the nights before a donation drive. A recurring nightmare? A giant tin can chasing me along an endless street while people walked past me, ignoring my cries for help. However, there was an incident. That one incident became a turning point for me. The little boy emptied his wallet of all his coins and dropped them into the tin can one by one. Then he looked up at me with a cheeky smile and showed me the collection of stickers he had received from donating to other charities. I was mind blown. How could this little boy have had a bigger heart than all those other adults that walked past me? My day was made by his little act. Nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, could take that genuine smile out of my face. It felt like I was walking on sunshine. That significant incident had changed my outlook on things. The boy need not have donated, but he had. I saw the look on his face and realized that to him every little bit counted. The money he had put in may have seemed very little to me, but it had all the value in the world to him and to those benefiting from it. Suffice to say, I had been taught a very big lesson. From that day onwards, I was the first to volunteer for any sort of community service. It was no longer a hassle or a chore. Instead, I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed helping people in any way possible. I was just happy to do my part for the society. The tin can had started calling out to me. We had made a connection through that one experience. It was no longer a harbinger of despair or torture. I had merely painted it in a bad light due to my bad experiences. Instead, it was a symbol of hope to many. To those who donated, it was a way of giving back to the society. To those who received the funds, it portrayed dreams of a better future. Small actions can lead to big changes.